Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here with another Extravagant Few Minutes live here on the Captain Lou Sports Network on YouTube. And, of course, on our Facebook page, which is the Captain Lou Extravaganza, and on X at The Real Captain Lou. We invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the Captain Lou Sports Network. You get all of our great programming, all of these Extravagant Few Minutes episodes live and archived. The Extravaganza with yours truly and my tag team partner, Mitch Bernstein. We have another live episode coming up next Wednesday. And, of course, the ACHA Power Play Season 10 rolling along the road to St. Louis is coming around the corner. We are less than 2 months away, actually 6 weeks away from puck drop of the 2026 ACHA National Championship. So you get all of that programming live and archived by subscribing to our YouTube channel, which is the Captain Lou Sports Network. And the Extravagant Few Minutes episode and all of our programming on the network is brought to you by our official secondary market, that being SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou, and you get $20 off of your purchase. It's that simple. There's a game you want to go to this weekend. I think there's a big one going on tomorrow night in East Lansing at the Breslin Center. Michigan and Michigan State. I think those guys don't like each other very much, and that's going to be one heck of a matchup. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But if you want tickets to that game, they're available on SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou, and you get $20 off your purchase. Maybe the Red Wings, maybe the Pistons. Pistons, best team in the Eastern Conference. Go to SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou, and you get $20 off your purchase. All right. The talk of the last couple of days in the NFL isn't about the Super Bowl that's coming up between New England and Seattle. It's the snub in the National Football League Hall of Fame. And congratulations to the NFL Hall of Fame committee and the Hall of Fame in general for now almost approaching the level of incompetence and lack of credibility of the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. Just an absolute joke that Bill Belichick is not elected on the first ballot. You could say what you want about Spygate, about Deflategate, whatever. They just happen to win 3 Super Bowls after Spygate, and he still doesn't get in first ballot. You've got some of these other coaches that get in on first ballot. It just goes down to a lack of just credibility. And again, the voters that have the personal vendettas against someone that wants to go into the Hall of Fame, especially Bill Belichick, someone that's deserving to go into the Hall of Fame. And if he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, I just don't get it. And some of these voters think, well, we'll make him wait a year. He can get in next year. We want to get somebody else in. That's the mindset of the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, which just drives me nuts. If a person is got the credentials to get in, he should get in no matter what. It's just like Mariano Rivera not getting an unanimous vote to get into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. What more does a person got to do? And it's whoever didn't vote for him, they should have his credentials revoked. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So it just drives me up a wall. Again, the lack of credibility with the Hall of Fame. It just really is. It's sad because it's supposed to be the hall of the best people. And if Bill Belichick is not one of the best coaches of all time, if not the best, then I don't know who is. And he should be in on the first ballot. He'll get in next year. And it's just, again, it's a black eye to the NFL. It's a black eye to the Hall of Fames that we've got right now, especially NFL and Major League Baseball. So, yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Todd Monken, he gets hired in Cleveland as the head coach of the Browns. And, boy, is he inheriting a disaster. Starting off with Jim Schwartz, telling everybody he's not coming back, taking his ball and going home, if you will, saying if he didn't get the head coaching job, he's out. The quarterback situation that's in Cleveland right now, I wouldn't want to be there. I know there's only 32 head coaching positions in the NFL. They're plum jobs. I don't blame them for taking it because why not? If nothing else, you're going to get a sweet settlement or a buyout if you get let go in a couple of years. But I'm telling you what, that is just a disaster, along with maybe the New York Jets or the Las Vegas Raiders right now. But you've got a quarterback situation that is murky at best. You've got an offensive situation that is murky at best. You've got some decent defensive players, but Myles Garrett isn't happy. It's an embarrassment. And I know he wasn't their first choice, but good luck to Todd Monken as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Oof, I tell you, that's going to be a reclamation project to say the least. Now, let's we talked about it in the beginning. Let's take our first look at Super Bowl 60. New England, Seattle, Drake May against Sam Darnold, a couple of top-notch defenses. It's going to be one heck of a matchup. I think this is going to, on paper anyways, it's a defensive matchup for the ages. Seattle, a 4.5-point favorite right now to win Super Bowl 60 against New England. Man, it's a tough one to call. I'd almost take the points, but I think Seattle, initially looking at it, just has maybe a few too many weapons for New England. And I really like their defense. I know they could have possibly played a little better against the Rams, but that offense, the Rams, has got a lot of firepower. It's a reclamation project. It's, with Sam Darnold getting to the Super Bowl, he's erased a lot of doubts. He's made a believer out of me. It does prove that if you don't get drafted by the right team right away, it could set you back quite a few years. And of course, him getting drafted by the Jets didn't help matters any. And then going to Carolina to that mess that he was in. And Drake May getting drafted by the right organization and getting the right coaching staff. I mean, you've got just such a great situation in New England with Mike Vrabel as your head coach and the coaching staff that he has. And again, Mike McDonald in Seattle. So it's going to be a great matchup. It's coming up a week from Sunday, and we'll have our prop bets all ready for you next week. We're going to have a ton of them. What we like to do to cap off another successful year with Presley's Parlays, winning a lot of dog biscuits and pizza pies this year. We hope to end it on a high note. We'll get them for you next week, so make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, let's switch gears to the NHL. The Red Wings back in action tonight against the Washington Capitals. Right now, a point behind Tampa Bay for first place in the Atlantic Division. Tampa Bay's got 3 games in hand on Detroit as well. And as crazy as it sounds, this game tonight and then Saturday's game, the first of a home and home with Colorado, those are the last 2 home games for the Red Wings until I think March 4th or something crazy like that because of the Olympic break. Detroit's got a tough schedule here these last 6 games. The Capitals are no pushover. Then you've got the best team in all of the NHL, the Colorado Avalanche, Saturday and Monday. Then they've got road games against Utah and Carolina before they end the break before the Olympics start in roughly a couple of weeks. So this is a big stretch for the Red Wings. Try to make hay while the sun shines, if you will, to try to stay as one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference of the NHL, one of the top teams in the Atlantic Division. Right now, they've got a 4-point lead over the Buffalo Sabres for second place, and they have a 10-point lead over Florida for the in as far as the playoffs goes. So still early, I get it, but these are big games for the Red Wings coming up. Simon Edmondson, the big loss, he'll be out till after the Olympic break for the Red Wings, playing really, really well on defense for the Wings. The Pistons, they're coming off a big win the other night against Denver. Now they go to Phoenix to take on the Suns. 6-game lead in the Eastern Conference of the NBA over New York and Boston. And something to keep in mind in the rear, the back of your mind, if you will, the rearview mirror. They're only 1 game behind in the loss column to the Oklahoma City Thunder for the best record in all of the NBA. I know they've got 3 games in hand, I believe, on Oklahoma City. Detroit 34-11, and I think Oklahoma City is 38-10. So yeah, who would have thought, right? The Pistons would be up as one of the top teams in the NBA. They are indeed the best team in the Eastern Conference. 6-game cushion over New York and Boston, 7, I believe, over Cleveland and Toronto. So yeah, a great start for the Pistons and the Red Wings. But the Pistons, big game tonight. Devin Booker will not be playing for the Suns, by the way, as the Pistons look to keep it going with a record of 34-11. 12 days until pitchers and catchers report. How about that? 13 days for the Detroit Tigers. Detroit starts on February 11th. So think warm thoughts. If you need a warm thought in these ice-cold conditions throughout the country, it's only 13 days for the Tigers to report for pitchers and catchers. And then spring training starts. And, of course, the narrative, 2 narratives here for the Tigers. Number 1, Tariq Skubal. Is he going to re-sign with the Tigers? That's going to go on all year. Are they going to trade him? Is he going to re-sign? And are we even going to have a season in 2027? Those are going to be the big narratives here in the state of Michigan with our Detroit Tigers. All right, we talked about it at the top. I think there's a big game coming up tomorrow night at the Breslin Center, 8 o'clock. Number 3, Michigan, number 7, Michigan State. Right now, Michigan is a 1.5 favorite on the road at the Breslin Center. I'm not touching that game with a 10-foot pole. That's going to be such a monster matchup. Here's an interesting tidbit. Both teams are combining for a number 10 ranking in the country. Michigan number 3 in the AP poll, number 2 in the coaches poll. Michigan State number 8 in the coaches poll, number 7 in the AP poll. They both combined for a number 10 ranking. That's the highest combined ranking these two teams have ever had when they've played each other. I know, kind of a neat little tidbit, but this is going to be a marquee matchup tomorrow night, Friday night, 8 p.m. on Fox. It's going to be a heck of a matchup. Don't know who's going to win this one. Been waiting for this one all year. The stats are pretty close to the same. They're leading scores. Michigan State led by Jeremy Fears at 14.1. Michigan led by Yaxel Lendenborg at 14.1 as well, or 14.2. Very, very close. And then you've got Morez Johnson for Michigan at 13.9 and Jackson Kohler at 13.1. So, yeah, you can throw the records out when these two teams meet. But it's going to be one heck of a matchup. Can't wait for it. And it was interesting listening to the interview they had with Tom Izzo. I think it was yesterday after practice. And, he was honest. He said, yeah, I hate them. But you know what? They hate us. But there's a respect factor between these two coaches now, and that's what I love about it. If only the fans on both sides could take that lead from head coach Tom Izzo. This rivalry has gotten ugly in more ways than one. So it's going to take some time really for it to get – it'll never be great, but lately this rivalry has really taken a turn to be ugly with both fan bases. Well, maybe we could put that aside and just have a genuine hate on the court, and that's it tomorrow night. It's going to be so much fun to watch that one. 8 o'clock tomorrow night again. Michigan, 1.5-point favorite at Michigan State. Like I said, I'm not touching that game with a 10-foot pole. The last time these two teams met when they were ranked in the top 10 was in the Big Ten championship game, the tournament game in 2019. Michigan State won that one 65-60, I believe. So, again, you could throw the records out the window. Tuesday night's games to set up for this one. Michigan had to make a heck of a comeback against number 5 Nebraska at home. They won that one 75-72. And speaking of comebacks, Michigan State needed one on the road against Rutgers. They trailed by double digits as well. They won in overtime 88-79. Say what you want about that game against Rutgers. It's never easy to win a game on the road in the Big Ten. Great teams find ways to win when they're down, and that's what Michigan State did. And great teams as well at home find a way to win no matter what. And I know Nebraska was missing their top 2 players, but still, a win's a win. So it's going to be a great matchup on Friday night. Can't wait for it. Michigan State, 8 o'clock from the Breslin Center, and that game's going to be on Fox. All right, that's going to do it for another extravagant few minutes. We want to thank everybody for taking time out to be with us here on the network. However you watch us on your iPhones, on your computers, even on your television screens, who knows? We want to thank you for watching us here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. Have a great night, everybody. Enjoy the game tomorrow. We'll be back this weekend. Again, be safe. And Captain Lou reminding you, keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving, and as always, keep your minds open. So long.